Alright. Trade deadline is over. And we got 6 trades to talk about. These are the only 6 trades I care about at all. Okay, there's a lot of trades that happen that, who gives a hoot? That's my question. Who gives a hoot? Not me. But here are the six trades that matter. The 6 trades that matter. And here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do this podcast style where, you know what, there's not really anything for you to see, but I'm going to leave my pen here as a marker of which trade we're talking about at the time. That sounds like a good idea. My computer's probably going to crash in about 15 seconds, so, I'll get to do it again. Now, point the right way. Let's do this, maybe? Or this? What about, like, from the side? Oh, look at that kind of. That's kind of nice, too. Upon the kitchen floor, apologizing for my life and ever ending yours. Alright, fuck it. Alright, trade number 1. Give me a sec. Okay. Alright. Now, you know what? Fuck that. I'm writing. Change my mind right away. Alright, 1. AD. The AD trade. Here's the first thing I want to say. I saw a couple sports heads, talking about this trade in the context of okay, here's what they would say. Okay, so really the Mavericks turned Luka Doncic into Max Christie and Chris Middleton. Fuck you, dude. Luka has nothing to do with this. Luka, I'm not grading it. Not a part of my grade for this trade. This trade is not the Luka trade. You cannot say that the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic for AJ McDonald or whoever the fuck and Chris Middleton. Because that's not what happened. Nico traded Luka for the idea of AD at the 4, and then the current Mavericks traded AD to get rid of AD. We got rid of so many people. This trade is a win for the Mavs. A win for Mavs. And dude, AD is never going to have another healthy season again. Okay? AD can't play 7 games in a row. AD is one of the worst contracts in the league. I don't care how good he is when healthy. I'm not making the same mistake Nico Harrison did. Praise the Lord we're off AD. I don't even think he's that bad when healthy. The problem is that, dude, healthy just doesn't exist. Praise the Lord. And he's just super slow. Somehow he's slower than Daniel Gafford, and that guy is bumbling and slow. Praise the Lord. That's just all right. Praise the fucking Lord. Who did we get rid of? I'm sitting there thinking about, which Mavericks players I want to get rid of. I'm like, okay, AD, he doesn't fit, and we got to get off him, and I think he sucks, and he's never going to play for us. He has no chemistry with anybody. He doesn't know how to fucking communicate. He's just the chittest guy in the room. He doesn't know how to do it. AD, so AD's 1. D'Lo, we got to get rid of D'Lo. Who the fuck brought in D'Lo? D'Lo sucks. He's grifter. His only offense is grifting. So we got rid of him. Dante Exum, who the fuck even is that guy? That's my approach. That's my mentality about Dante Exum. I was like, what? Who is that? Oh, did he hit that one game winner shot? He did hit that one game winner shot where Luka passed him the ball and hit the game winner. That was him, right? Was that Josh Green? That's how I feel about Dante Exum. I don't give a shit. And Jaden Hardy. How much were we paying Jaden Hardy? What was the Jaden Hardy contract? We're off. That guy, no. Put Miles Kelly in the game. I swear to God. Like, a huge win. I don't have to say that much more about this. Everybody's like, oh, the Wizards. The Wizards are kicking ass. Dude, the Wizards are doing the same thing they always do. I'm going to write that down. Wizards. Same as it ever was. This is what they do. They're just like, they're like a, how do I even say this? They're like a retirement facility. Not a retirement facility. They're like, they just get disgruntled superstars that are not going to fit on a team and let them casually dick around on a team that doesn't matter until they get traded again. Like, they'll buy... Like, AD is not going to play for them. Like, did the same thing with Jordan Poole. This is their MO. You know, some of these teams out there in the league, I don't know what the fuck their MO is. Like, what is the Utah Jazz MO? You know, who did they sign? Who did the Utah Jazz sign? It wasn't... Was it... Who did the Utah Jazz sign? Shit. That's not on there. Utah Jazz trade. Didn't they sign somebody? Oh, Jaren Jackson Jr. That's why I don't care. That's why it's not on the list. Because who gives a shit about Jaren Jackson Jr.? Okay. I don't think the Wizards are like huge winners. They get AD, who's not going to be healthy ever, and Trae Young, who's literally the worst player on defense in the whole league. This is what they do. They just get names that can sell some tickets, and then they sell those names later on after they, you know, relax a little. Like Jordan Poole. Or they just, who knows? The Wizards, whatever. Who gives a shit? Oh, they got Sar. Sar with AD, though. AD's at the 4. That was Nico's dream. That's what, yeah. So fuck it. It's not going to work. That was Nico's dream. Why would it work? AD at the 4 is not a thing because AD is not a thing. Trade 2. We're moving on. Boom. Fuck you, AD. See ya. Musa Cisse of my dreams. You seen that guy's shoulders? Oh my god. Sploosh. Alright. Trade 2. James Harden. I love this. Respect to James Harden. I have to say this. And, the Clippers brought it on themselves. We're the most, professional. We have Kawhi. It's I don't think Kawhi and Harden, really talk to each other. They're just there's no... He's just dude, I'm not going to sign here in the off season without an extension. And they're like, we're not going to give you an extension. He's like, well, okay. I like that it was a trade request, not a trade demand. That was important. I think this is fantastic for Cleveland. Let's write that down. Fantastic for Cleveland. I think, it does play into the playoff chokers storyline, but you know what? Fuck it. Play into that shit. That's a good idea. Play into playoff choker. Okay, so you're saying we've got camaraderie with James Harden. You're saying this is the perfect team for him. You're saying we're all going to solve our one problem. All the chokers are going to come together. Yikers. With that K. I love this. Darius Garland is, dude. The Clippers are done. The Clippers. I'm surprised they didn't trade Kawhi. They're probably going to trade Kawhi. I would have desperately tried to trade Kawhi. I'm going to write that down. LAC should have traded Kawhi. If you think, I don't know, I never know how to spell his name. If you are certain that Kawhi will stay healthy to the end into the offseason, because I mean you're tanking now. You traded 2 of your 3 best players, and you didn't have anybody good after that anyway. Kawhi's gone. They're going to be the healthiest reboot. This is what I wanted for them anyway. This is like what I said, what I wanted for them was to just, okay, let's just be the world's healthiest reboot and be that as a franchise. Let's just, boom. We can just switch to that. Okay, our plan Z is pretty nice. World's healthiest reboot. We traded Kawhi, who's beating the shit out of people. We traded James Harden, who's averaging 30 points a game and is an engine on offense. He'll be your offense, basically. There's your point guard. Or whatever. And Zubac, who was going to go to the All-Star game. If he had played as good as he did last year, he would have gone to the All-Star game this year. But he didn't. I don't know. But he'll be so good on Indy. So this is a great trade. The only losers are nobody, really. And I'll put 3 Zubac because it's from the same team. Kawhi will get traded in the offseason. I would bet $80. They're not going to reboot with still Kawhi as their centerpiece. That's insane. Kawhi is gone. I'm just going to use the same guess I used over there. Kawhi is gone in offseason. Now, I think it'll be early. Maybe during the playoffs even. Before draft. Oh my God, the Clippers are going to come out on top. Well, they still have to give a pick to, but they took Zubac. Wait, did the Pacers give up their first round pick, their best pick? Zubac trade. Clippers trade Zubac to the Pacers for Mathurin. 2 first round picks and 1 second round. The Pacers have one of the worst records in the NBA. Yeah. The Pacers picks are protected from 1 to 4. Oh. And a 2029 unprotected Pacers first rounder. Oh, the Pacers need to get into the lottery, dude. The Pacers need to get into the lottery. 1 through 4 protected. They have to win. They have to get into the lottery. Oh my God, the Pacers. If the Pacers get this pick and Zubac, it's insane. An unprotected first in 2031. Okay, whatever. Old Halliburton. This is such a good trade. The Zubac trade is great. Great for everybody. This is exactly what the Clippers should do. Is just we're gonna healthy rebuild. We have Kawhi Leonard to trade, James Harden to trade, and Zubac to trade, and we're gonna trade all 3 of them and get a lot for it. And Darius Garland is gonna be our starting point guard for the next year while, we get good players. He can do that. I fucking hope. Alright. Oh my god. This I'm not going to talk about much. Number 4. KP for Kuminga. KP for Kuminga, dude. I mean, come on. I have made it very clear my personal feelings about Kristaps Porzingis, that he is a curse. That you will never win with him. I know that's a crazy thing to say, considering, you know, he won a championship with Boston. But that... I don't know, dude. I don't believe in KP at all. Now, here's the question. Would Milwaukee prefer KP over Kuminga? That's what I'm thinking here. That's what I'm thinking is going on. I mean, KP is good for the Warriors. If he could play, and if he wasn't a fucking like weird, there's just something off going on. If he was ever like consistently able to play, yeah, that would be great for the Warriors. But that's another thing like AD. It's like, oh, a healthy KP. Imagine a lineup of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, a stealthy KP. And who gives a shit? I want that team. Except there's no such thing as healthy KD. That's why KP. That's why we have to put the word healthy in front of it, because it's a non-existent person. KP is the person, and he's not healthy. Warriors, I guarantee. So, after the Bucks decided they weren't going to trade Curry, an anonymous executive came out and said that the Bucks were never actually serious about doing it. And I feel like there was anger there. For some reason, I just picked up anger over the vibes. And I think it was the Warriors. Warriors pissed at Bucks. The Warriors are absolutely one of the teams that is going after Giannis. And I looked up what the Warriors offered. I think the Warriors are leaking. Information about what their trade the Warriors made an aggressive pick-heavy offer for Giannis centered upon Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, along with multiple first-round picks. And I know it's like the picks are late in the future, but aren't those the picks you want? And you flip Draymond for picks this year. You could flip Draymond to like the Nets for some late first-rounder, dude. You could flip Jonathan Kuminga for some first-round pick 2 years from now, and then what? Then you have first-round picks again. Who cares where they are? The real heavy hitters are coming later, dude. We're Milwaukee. Give us some time to build back up our strength. I don't know. I would have taken it. Because you can sell Draymond for picks. Tons of teams would want Draymond. Imagine. Oh my god, dude. Imagine the Houston Rockets trade for Draymond. The Houston Rockets trade Tari Eason and Steven Adams to the Bucks for Draymond Green. And the Bucks are like, okay, thank you. Our people will love Steven Adams because all the fan bases love Steven Adams, and Tari Eason is young. He's very young. Whatever. I want Draymond Green. I just want Draymond Green to play for the the Rockets. I think the Warriors. The Warriors. I think they either get Giannis. That's supposed to be in. They either get Giannis in the offseason or they sell and take the healthiest reboot possible option. The same option the Clippers are taking. Or it's okay, so let's trade Steph Curry, who's still going to get you like 4 first rounders at least. That guy is still really fucking good. Imagine you trade Steph Curry to Detroit for Amen Thompson or Sar Thompson and a bunch of picks and 3 first round picks. And you're like, oh my god. I would do that. I mean, Asar is good, but you got to give up something. It's Steph Curry. And Asar is not that good. The Thompson twins have issues, for sure. Maybe you don't trade, but, you could get Curry. You trade Draymond Green to the Warriors, Steph Curry to the Pistons. Oh my god, imagine if you trade Steph Curry for Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown. No, you just sell everybody for picks if you're the Warriors. If you don't get Giannis in the offseason or some other team gets him, you're done. You're done skis, man. You're done skis, the one skis. All right, what's next? Zubac to Indiana. We already talked about that. Oh, here are the last 2 trades. One of them is my favorite trade, and one of them is, I think, the best, the scariest trade, or the trade I think that is gonna make the most difference over the next, it's gonna have a big impact on the next 6 years type of trade. Which one should I go for first? My favorite or the sleeper big trade? Let's go sleeper. Let's go sleeper, really big trade, because I'm going to save McCain to the Thunder. This is huge. And I understand why. Because, for both. I understand for both. The 76ers, you just got VJ Edgecombe. You don't really need Jared McCain. And you know what? The Thunder are not even in your conference. So who gives a shit how good they are? What else did they get? McCain trade. OKC. Oh, this is not going to just tell me the shit that they got. Fuck you. Hey, fuck you. Here we go. Oklahoma gets McCain. The 76ers get a 2026 first rounder, a 2027 second round pick, and 2 2028 second round picks. Is that for Jared McCain? Yeah. Your fucking team is expensive as shit. You cannot afford McCain. Actually, I understand this for both 100%. McCain's not even going to be that pricey, and you can't afford the shit out of him because you have Paul George and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey on your team. Praise the Lord, you got Edgecombe, and he's cheap for now. Edgecombe, sorry. That's a great trade. And, dude, the Thunder they won the deadline. I saw, dude, fucking one of the YouTubers I watched said that the Wizards won the deadline. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? The Thunder won the deadline. What did the Thunder need? Let's see. A young guy who could potentially provide a lot of offense. Off the bench, maybe even. But, like, young and cheap and coachable. It's like, okay, there's Jared fucking McCain. For picks. If you're OKC, this is why you were grabbing all these picks all over the place from everybody, is that you could spend them on a move like this. Not a move like Giannis or any of that kind of shit. A move like McCain. This move is a good move. Goated move. Another goated move by OKC. Everybody else in the Western Conference just has to hope that Jared McCain is like bad for the rest of his career. Another one. What a great trade for them. They won the deadline. They won the deadline. And then finally, my favorite trade. This trade brings joy to me. This trade I'm the happiest about. Alvarado to the Knicks. Now, what's been the issue with the Knicks? Is like a lack of energy, a lack of like cohesion, a lack of just like overall chemistry, you know? And here comes one of my favorite players in the league, Jose Alvarado. He's like a second version of Josh Hart. You always have one of these guys on the floor now. And Alvarado is gonna be nasty for the Knicks. I think that's a great trade for the Knicks. I sometimes make lists of like players in the NBA that I want. Alvarado is always on that list of NBA players that would be on my team. Right? I don't give a shit. I know I will outbid you guys. You guys are treating Alvarado like he's nothing. Not like he's nothing, but like we'll just trade him. What did the Knicks have to give up for Jose Alvarado? Jose Alvarado trade. I guarantee you, if I was a team, any team in the league, I would have paid more for Alvarado than whoever the fuck. Dolan Terry, 2 second-round picks and cash. Are you shitting me? Dude, I'll trade PJ Washington for Alvarado. No, I wouldn't. I already got Nembhard, dude. I already got Nembhard and B-Will and Kyrie. Like, I don't need more little guys, you know? But come on. Tons of teams should have traded for him. It was the same thing with Alex Caruso. I was like, how do you get Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey? If I'm anybody else, I'm like, wait, what the fuck are we doing? We couldn't outdo that offer. We couldn't offered Kuminga for Caruso. Imagine Caruso on the Warriors. You couldn't have traded Kuminga for Caruso? Instead, you got Kristaps Porzingis for Kuminga. What the fuck? You got literally a curse for Kuminga. What the shit, man? If you're the Warriors, the only way that I like this trade is if Milwaukee has told you they want KP. I'll say that shit right now. That's the only way that makes sense. All right, but we got to go back to this. Alvarado. I really am not a KP believer at all. Alvarado to the Knicks is perfect. Second, Energizer. I love that. This team is a momentum-based team. I think there are other issues with the team. Jalen Brunson definitely still, like, he's proven it this year that he still has Moki Doki syndrome, which I'm not going to explain. I've already explained it in other places. Brunson still has Okie dokie, and what that means for Alvarado, or why that matters, is because Alvarado is like a momentum carrier. Momentum. How do I say this? I'm inventing a new category of player. A player who, when the team has momentum, he is all you can always count on him to continue the momentum. Like if the team is playing hot, he's going to throw in a really hot play and continue the momentum. He's going to always be there when like to throw in an extra hot steal on a hot streak. You know, he's a momentum pusher. Just no, that's terrible. Momentimer. Brunson's not a momentimer, and Cat is not a momentimer. Now I'm saying it though. Now I'm saying momentimer. Cat is not a momentimer. I don't think OG. I don't even think Bridges is a momentimer. I'm gonna call it that now. Fuck it, momentimer. He's absolutely momentumers needed. Alvarado. Praise the Lord. Yes, please. I'm just going to keep going, man. Yes, please. Alvarado to the Knicks. Why is this a 3? When is it the third one on my list? No, it's not even the third one on my list. What's wrong with me? I'm out of mind. Who cares? Let's go. I'm so excited about Alvarado to the Knicks. That's it. That's how I feel about the trade deadline. Any other trade that happened, not important. Or not interesting. Don't even think about them. They don't matter. Jaren Jackson Jr. to who? Who gives a shit? You know?